Yes, guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I am Adam McCullough. This is MUFC Transfer Daily Live. What's going on with my hair? I'm not quite sure, but it's not there right now. It's so hot in England. I'm sweating and my hair has gone as a result. But we're here to talk Manchester United transfer news and, of course, bring you all the latest gossip, rumours, news, facts, bullshit, everything that's going on surrounding Manchester United, surrounding transfers, surrounding Harry Maguire, Sean Longstaff, Bruno Fernandes, Nicolas, Pepe, and so many more. Manchester United are linked to all sorts of names, to so many names every single summer, and it's no different this summer around. And of course, with just over 2 weeks remaining of the summer transfer window for Manchester United, obviously, when you look at it, you've got to say United would have probably expected to have more business done by now. The window closes as the Premier League kicks off. Manchester United obviously kick off against Chelsea. And how much more business will we have done before that happens? Obviously, we'll find out in the coming days, in the coming weeks. But is it the calm before the storm, or are we about to witness another failure from Manchester United in the summer transfer window? Now, what I will say is the signings that we've made so far, I don't think are failures. I think they're very good signings. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, definitely a fantastic signing. And even at the £50 million, which is a big money transfer fee, I think it's good business for Manchester United. Daniel James, obviously one for the future. Obviously someone that needs to improve and isn't going to improve our first 11 straight away, but could become a key figure for United over the years if his development goes well. At 15 to 18 million, doesn't represent much of a risk. Decent bit of business by Manchester United. And when you see how quick he is, he will be a problem for all sorts of defences coming from the bench. So let's not worry about that. But when you look at the overall impact of the window that Manchester United have had so far on their squad, has it been good enough? So far, no. A lot could happen in 2 weeks, of course, but will it? That's what we've got to start asking ourselves now. And we're going to look at the transfer rumours that are going down for Manchester United, just so we can see that. First of all, the Mirror are currently reporting that Manchester United have not made any moves for either Nicolas Pepe or Bruno Fernandes. They say we've not made any news for Bruno Fernandes or Nicolas Pepe. Now, I was a little bit unsure about this Bruno Fernandes one. Obviously, he had an awfully good season last season for Sporting Lisbon, and he's been linked with Manchester United. When Paul Pogba was linked with a move away from the club, he was linked with us a lot. And of course, now he's being linked with us as well, even if Paul Pogba stays. Now, I was concerned about this one. I've felt that maybe it's something that's coming from Portugal a little bit more. Maybe Sporting Lisbon are trying to drive up the fee for him, are trying to drive up the business for him. And now he's even being linked with Liverpool today in some reports of him saying that he needs to impress out in America to try and get Jurgen Klopp's eye and get a deal done. I don't think we're going to get Bruno Fernandes. I think the Nicolas Pepe one's an interesting one. Obviously, a lot of fans want him at their clubs this summer, at least before the African Cup of Nations. He didn't have the greatest tournament for Ivory Coast. I was surprised by the performance of that front line. I know Zaha got a crucial goal for them, I think, in the quarterfinals, but I would have thought they would have done better when you look at their team on paper. And they didn't perform. So maybe the clubs of Nicolas Pepe, the clubs of Bruno Fernandes are trying to get that business in for him, are trying to get the interest in for him, are trying to ramp it up a little bit. They're using the national press where they're based to go and do that. And I don't think we'll end up with either of them. I'd be surprised if we did. I would be surprised if we did. Now, obviously, more British reports are saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is desperate for £140 million double raid. Now, this double raid, £140 million, is talking about Sean Longstaff and Harry Maguire. Now, first of all, £140 million for those two players, we're paying way over the odds. We know that. I don't think we'll sign Sean Longstaff for £50 million. I think Harry Maguire is probably the one that we're going to be trying to push through and see make happen. Now, some of you are asking for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. We're going to talk about Milinkovic-Savic and Dybala in a bit. So you guys just hold your horses. We'll talk about them very, very soon. But we're looking right now at this desperation from Ole apparently for this £140 million. Bit of business to be done. Sean Longstaff and Harry Maguire. Now, first of all, if we pay £50 million for Longstaff, we're being ripped. If we pay £90 million for Harry Maguire, we know we're being ripped as well. But United come with a premium. Dealing with Premier League clubs comes with a premium. And of course, the British press are going to add on extra numbers and extra figures as well. I think if we do agree for Harry Maguire, it'll probably be closer to £80 million with add-ons and all that stuff. If we get Sean Longstaff, it'd probably be closer to £30 million. But this is coming from the Daily Star. Now, you got to take it with a pinch of salt, whatever they are. They usually sell, all sorts of random stories on their front pages. So you take what's on their back pages with a pinch of salt. But United's interest in Harry Maguire is seemingly there. United's interest in Sean Longstaff has been long reported in the British press as well. So it's all interesting. Now, to me, it just seems like no one has a clue what is going on with Manchester United. Nobody has a clue what is going on. They're linking us with Pepe, Fernandes, Longstaff, Dybala, Milinkovic-Savic, Maguire, Koulibaly, Alderweireld, left, right and centre. They're linking us with all sorts of players. And I just feel like none of them have an absolute clue. Now, Solskjaer was talking about how, he was happy with the squad and he thought he could get more out of this team and stuff. I do think he's bluffing a little bit and trying to get a little bit more, trying to keep the team on side, the ones that maybe he thought he needed to get rid of. And that's not his fault. Yet again, we've seen managers, looking for business to be done, looking for players to maybe get rid of, and they haven't been. And that's not the manager's fault. I said this last summer. We need to sign a centre-half if we want to challenge. That was before Jose Mourinho cracked up and deservingly lost his job in the end. But the seed was planted when he never got the defender that he wanted. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in a position where he may not. Now, I do think we'll get the Harry Maguire business done. But if we're getting Harry Maguire, if we're getting Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and we're getting Daniel James, and those are the only bits of business that are done, that has been a failure of a summer again, because yet again we haven't brought in the business that we needed to do. Where's the central midfield signing that we know we need? Herrera's gone. Where's that signing? We needed a player with Herrera here. Matic is getting no younger, and now we need to replace Herrera. We need to add to the squad in midfield, and we haven't done that. So yet again, it's a new manager and the same story for Manchester United in the transfer window, potentially. Now, we have to hold our horses a little bit because there's still 2 weeks to go. We could still make those big transfers that we need to make. And I mean big in terms of impact, not in terms of just throwing money at big names and hoping that they become the key man to help Manchester United win again. The key transfers that United need to make could still happen. There's still time. But when you're hearing stories of Ed Woodward's been on holiday and now he's returning, getting ready for action, where the fuck have you been on holiday, and why have you been on holiday in the summer? You can afford to go. You don't have to wait for the summer holidays when your kids are off school and you get the best deals. You can do it any time of the year, Ed Woodward. So you may as well. What's all this about holidays and that? It doesn't make sense. We need the business done. Ollie needs the backing, and we need deals done ASAP. And just getting Harry Maguire on top of what we've done isn't good enough. So to have a good window, we need at least 2 more players in the next 2 weeks. Can you see United doing that, guys? Get your comments in the comments below. Now we're going to look at some Italian reports. Now, again, we're looking at these Italian reports. I take them with a pinch of salt. I don't think these Italian reports are anything concerning Manchester United, but we're going to give you them anyway. And thank you to Sport Witness for helping us compile these. First of all, they're saying Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, Manchester United, €75 million plus. He's easily attainable. €5 million bonuses offer claimed by Gazzetta. Transfers really close for the player, they say, but depends on Paul Pogba. Now, the Paulo Dybala reports are saying Manchester United are trying to please the manager. Solskjaer wants the player, and a contract has been offered. 2O Sport will not let this go, say Sport Witness, maybe because it keeps their Pogba dream alive. And that's what you've got to take from these 2 stories, guys. Depends on Pogba, and maybe because it keeps their Pogba dream alive. I know that's a bit of an opinion from Sport Witness, but it's bang on. You know, if you're looking at these transfers, and Milinkovic-Savic depends on Pogba, Dybala, it keeps Juventus' dream alive. I think this is just Italian reports. What you've got to see is Paul Pogba's a big transfer for them. Now, Juventus have signed De Ligt. They've made other signings. Now, they're running out of people to talk about. Juventus ain't going to be making that many more deals, you know, this summer. And now the Italian press are looking, who can we talk about Juventus signing? Oh, I know, Paul Pogba. That means we can talk about Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, Paulo, Dybala, all these other people. So it's being able to give these guys stories. It's being able to give these guys the ability to fill papers, fill headlines, keep going with the transfer stuff in regards to Juventus, the biggest club in Italy. So I think we take all these Italian reports regarding Milinkovic-Savic, Paulo, Dybala with a pinch of salt, and take these British reports as well, and these Portuguese reports. Take them all with a pinch of salt. I don't think Paul Pogba's leaving Manchester United. So, first of all, you know, depending on Pogba, Milinkovic-Savic, that means that's not happening. If it's true. Paulo Dybala, keeping Pogba dream alive, Juventus. We're not getting involved in business with Juventus unless it then opens the door to Pogba leaving. And I don't think Pogba leaves this summer. I don't think Manchester United allow it to happen. So that's what we're saying here, guys, on Full Time Devils. Regarding all the latest, Nicolas, Pepe, Bruno, Fernandes, the Mirror are saying that United haven't made moves for them. And it kind of, you know, sounds like what I've been saying. I've been saying I'm not sure about this Bruno Fernandes one. That's what I've been saying. I'm not sure about it. Is it just the Portuguese press working on behalf of Sporting to crank up the interest in the player? Then we're hearing Dybala, Milinkovic-Savic in Italy. Not sure about that. And Ole being desperate for the 140 million signings of two English players, Harry Maguire and Longstaff. What are you making about all these things, guys? Ramil says Pogba stays. Mikey says ask your Spanish pals. Dave and Juan to tempt Isco here. I wish I could. Spend the money of Pepe, not Maguire. Embarrassing the money talked about. An average centre half, says Connor. In regards to the money spent on Maguire, look, if we spend 80 million on him, 90 million, I think, you know, when you're looking at transfer fees, I don't think Harry Maguire's worth that. But when I'm looking at it from a football fan perspective, do I care about the money spent by Manchester United? No, I don't. As long as it's not in the Glazers' pockets, as long as it's being used to improve the team. Does Harry Maguire improve our team? Yes. He'd start for Manchester United tomorrow. If Manchester United had him and we were playing, he'd be in our best 11. So you have to say he improves the team. You have to say, you know, he'd be a key signing for us. And you have to say, I don't care where that money goes. When you think of, you know, the percentage of Manchester United's revenue and all that stuff, when United signed Rio for 30 odd million, it was like 15% of United's revenue. This would represent around 18% of United's revenue. So it shows that how the money in football has changed. Now, is Harry Maguire worth being the most expensive centre-half in the world? I don't think so. But Manchester United need to sign big key players, and we need a key centre-half. Harry Maguire is better than most of our centre-halves. I think he could fit in alongside a Bailly, fit in alongside a Lindelof, and United would be strong in that centre-half position. So you get him in. Get players that are going to improve our first 11. Does he do that? Yes, he does. Do we have to care about the, you know, about all the transfer fee and stuff? I don't think we do, really, guys. So yeah. Thomas says I want Zlatan back. Just finished reading Zlatan's book. It's such a good book. Love for him to finish that, or at least do an interview with Full Time Devils so we can talk about the bits that are missing. Ryan says we need to get rid of some serious deadwood. Yeah, and it frees up money as well. It frees up a little bit more money in terms of doing business. Bruno Fernandes is the new Schneider, says Shrias. It does feel like that, doesn't it? Alderweireld, says Lax. Now, this has been floated as a potential alternative, which is weird because if you can get Alderweireld for 25 million, that would be the most valuable centre-half on the market in terms of pound for pound, 25 million for Alderweireld. Obviously, it's going to be big wages, and that's probably where United are thinking, is it worth doing that? The wages of Alderweireld, which would be, he'd probably be demanding £350,000 a week because of the fact he knows clubs are getting him for cheap. So when you take that into consideration, maybe that's why United aren't in there, or maybe he's about to announce that he's staying at Spurs. Who knows? I do know that his release clause, that 25 mil release clause, runs out soon. So interesting that he hasn't been gobbled up just yet. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button as well on the video, please. Get hitting that like button. Just to recap, the Mirror are saying Nicolas, Pepe, Bruno, Fernandes are not on Manchester United's radar this summer. Tutto Sport in Italy are saying United are trying to please the manager Solskjaer by bringing in Paulo, Dybala, and a contract has been offered. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic continues to be linked with United, and reports in Italy are saying, the Gazzetta to be in fact, are saying the transfer is really close for the player, but depends on Paul Pogba, which, you know, I don't think Paul Pogba's leaving, and I'd say both of these stories coming out of Italy, not going to happen. Milinkovic-Savic, Dybala. Daily Star are saying Ole is desperate for the £140 million double raid of Maguire and Longstaff. £140 million for that pair. Woo! There really is no value in the market. Although, United need to get business done. Guys, this has been MUFC Transfer Daily Live. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're keeping it locked for much more content coming your way. We're doing videos around the game. Obviously, we were out there in Australia. We were out there in Singapore. Unfortunately, we're not out there in China. But I will be doing a watch along and doing all sorts of reactions and things like that after the game. So make sure you're keeping it locked. 2 full-time Devils for all of that. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. And for now, I have been Adam McCullough. I'm going to get out of here. But first, before I go, get your thoughts in. See you later.